Today we are going to go over the Unit 3 test. Number 1 says, Alyssa read 25 pages of a new book the first day she bought it. After the first day, she read 5 pages a day. If the book was 350 pages, which of the following equations can be used to determine how many days it took Alyssa to finish the book? So the first thing we need to do is try to break down the sentence. So the first piece of information we come across is the 25 pages. She read 25 pages. So that's how much she started off with already, and she wants to finish the rest of the book. So since that's what we started off with, our one-time fee, that's going to be our B in our formula y equals mx plus b. So we can plug in the plus 25 right there. Based on that information alone, we should be able to get our answer, but we can go ahead and continue on to see if the rest of that answer choice is correct. The next piece of information we come across is the 5 pages per day. 5 pages per day. When we hear the phrase per each and every, that tells us our m in our equation. We know our x stays the same, and the equal sign can come down as well. The last piece of information tells us the book was 350 pages. That is total amount, because that is what the book has in its entirety. So our total is also going to be our y. 350 should be here. Now there's only one answer choice that has 5x plus 25 equals 350, and it is D. Number 2 reads, Elena purchased some pencils for 45 cents each. She also purchased a ruler for $1.60. Elena spent more than $101.75 on the ruler and pencils. Which inequality can be used to find P, the number of pencils that Elena could have purchased? So again, we're going to use the formula y equals mx plus b. We're going to break down the sentence. So the first piece of information we come across is the 45 each. 45 cents each. We learned in the last slide, anytime we hear each, every, or per, that's our M, because it happens multiple times. So we're going to put that right here. We saw that the X never changed. Then we need to continue reading. She also purchased one ruler, or a ruler, for $1.60. That is our one-time thing. So when it's our one time or our starting amount, that's our B. So plus $1.60. Now there's 2 more pieces of information with this being an inequality. The first part that I want to get to is our total. And our total, it says more than 175. Get a highlighter. More than 175. And again, that is our total, that's our y. Now we just need our inequality sign. And this information right here, more than, tells us what our sign will be. So what we know is this is our total, and this is what we spent. We are saying that Elena spent more than $1.75. So this should be the bigger number, and this should be the smaller number. So when we're doing our inequality, the big side of our arrow should be towards the big side of our equation. So we should get this type of inequality sign. So it says $1.75 is less than what we spent. And that answer would be C. Number 3 says an inequality in one variable is shown below. Which number line represents the solution set for the inequality? So we have to just start off by solving this equation. I'm going to rewrite it over here to the side so I have room. The first thing I notice is since I have a negative right here, we have to flip the sign. Since there is a negative with the inequality, or with the variable, we have to flip the sign. So instead of pointing that way, we're going to point the other way. Now, looking at our inequality, there's no less than or equal to or greater than or equal to sign now. So we can take away all the closed answer choices. So that's A and C. Based on that information alone, we should get our answer as B because the arrow is pointing the same way as our inequality. But let's go ahead and solve the equation to figure that out. So we draw our line, we subtract by 8, subtract by 8, cancels out over here, and this becomes 10. Bring down the negative 2x, we divide by a negative 2, divide by a negative 2, this cancels out over here. Then we get x is greater than negative 5, which, yes, that should be answer choice B. Number 4 says an equation in one variable is shown below. Which number line represents the solution for this equation? So I'm going to rewrite the problem over here. 6x plus 10 equals negative 8. Sorry, negative 8. Start off by drawing my line. I'm going to undo plus 10, so it would be minus 10. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Negative 8 minus 10 gives me a bigger negative, so it'd be negative 18. We're going to bring down the 6x. Now I'm going to divide by 6. Divide by 6. So I get x equals negative 3. Looking at all my inequalities, right here we have about 0.2, negative 0.2. Here we have a positive 0.2. C would be our answer choice, and D is a 3. So we can cross out D, B, and A. Number 5 says, which situation can be represented by this inequality? So let's go through each answer choice and see if we can break it down. Looking at every answer choice that we have, it starts off the exact same way. He earns $8.25 per hour babysitting. So that is our H, or $8.25H. Our negative 75 is our one time. So that means he's going to have to spend something or something to make that go down. And our total is going to be the 124. So it says for A, it says he needs at least. Okay, there's a big thing right there because that's our inequality. At least $124.50 to attend a basketball game. If he already has $75, how many hours H must Rich babysit to afford to go to the basketball game? So he already has that $75, and so that's a positive amount right there, not a negative. So since it is a positive amount, we're looking for a negative amount. A would not be our answer choice. Now let's look at B. B says he earns $8.25 an hour babysitting. He needs at most. Okay, so that could be equal to or greater than $124.50 to attend the basketball game. So $124.50 is our total. If he already has $75, so it looks like it's the exact same thing as the one before. So that's a positive. We're looking for a negative. Okay. The next one, he needs at least, so that means the exact amount or more. He needs at least $124.50. Then he spends $75 on electronics, so that's huge right there. Spends. When you spend something, that's a negative amount, which is what we were looking for. So C seems like a really good option, but let's look at D just to make sure. D says he needs at most 75. So that's going to be wrong right away because that's saying our total would be 75. So we can cross off D, and we can make sure we cross off B as well because of the positive sign. So yes, our answer would be C. Number 6 says, which situation is best represented by this equation? So I'm going to start off by highlighting the different things. My one time will be in blue. My per each and every will be in red. My total will be in green. And it should be equal to in yellow. So let's go through and highlight and see if we can figure out each answer choice. A says Lindsay spent a total of 47. So it tells us right there, total of 47. At a grocery store, she bought one bottle of shampoo for $4. So that tells us that's our one-time fee. Already, that's wrong because our blues don't match up. So we can cross off A. B says Lindsay spent a total of 47. Okay, so total 47 on her mother for her birthday. She bought a box, so one box, $35 box of chocolates and some balloons, meaning more than one balloon, for $4 each. For each. Okay, so that one looks pretty good so far. C says Lindsay spent a total of 47, so total 47 from her allowance, and $35 earned from mowing. There's nothing in this problem stated about the 4 for each every per, so C would be wrong as well. D states Lindsay spent a total of 47 on new pens, so a total of 47 on new pens and mechanical pencils. So she bought 4 pens and 35 pencils. So that's putting everything together and it's saying they're the same price. So that's nothing like our equation up top because we would have to then add 35 and 4 to get 39, and that has nothing to do with the equation given. So that means D would be wrong as well, and we are left with our answer, B. Number 7 says an inequality is shown below. Which of the following model shows a model of the inequality and the values of x that make the inequality true? So first things first, we do have to solve the equation. 3x plus 2 is greater than negative 1. So we draw our line, we subtract by 2, subtract by 2. These cancel, this becomes negative 3. We bring down our 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3, so we get x is greater than negative 1. So based on that, we can get rid of B, and we can get rid of D. So we're left with 2 answer choices. So up top, we need to break it down. We have 3x here. So on A, we have 1, 2, 3 x's. And on C, we only have 1x. So based on that information alone, we can make sure we choose A. Now to prove it even more, it is plus 2. So 1, 2. Over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 3x plus 2. And this would be x plus 5. Is greater than -1. Is greater than -1. So A is our answer. Number 8 says a modeled equation is shown below. Which equation could be represented by the model? So based on our key over here, this is representing x, 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 x. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6x. 6x. So I'm going to highlight that in red. Anywhere I see a 6x, I can highlight it, which means answer choice B and D can go away because they have a -6. The next thing we're looking at is our -1. So that's -1, -1, -1, -1, which altogether is -4. So looking at our two leftover answer choices, it should be C, but we're going to finish out. And lastly, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So equals 8. So yes, C would be our correct answer. Number 9 says, what is the solution set for -4x minus 10 is less than or equal to 2? All that it means is solve this inequality. So we have -4x minus 10 is less than or equal to 2. So the first things that we have to notice, we have a negative with the variable, so we have to flip the sign. So this is now greater than or equal to. Then we need to draw our line and solve. So we plus 10, plus 10. These cancel, and here I get 12. I'm going to bring down my -4x. I'm going to divide by -4. Divide by -4. These cancel, and I get x is greater than or equal to -3. Which that answer choice would be B. Number 10 says a triangle has angles that measure 54.6 degrees and 17.8 degrees. Which equation can be used to find x, the measure of the third angle in the triangle? So we know all triangles add up to equal 180 degrees. So based on that information alone, we should be able to get our answer. Okay, so we know equals 180. So we add up all the sides, so 54.6 plus 17.8 plus x. So there's only one answer choice that looks like that, and that is D. Number 11 says the sum of the measures of angle M and angle R is 90 degrees, meaning it's just a complementary angle. The measure of angle M is 5x minus 10. The measure of angle R is 55 degrees. So we have to add those two together. So we have 5x minus 10 plus 55, and it told us it equaled 90. So we have to combine like terms. So we have 5x by itself. We have a -10 and a positive 55. So when we add the -10 and positive 55, it's really 55 minus 10, so that's 45. That's a positive, and we have 5x. Now we just solve our equation. So minus 45, minus 45, 10, 8. 10 minus 5 is 5. 8 minus 4 is 4. Bring down our 5x. Divide by 5, divide by 5. So we get x equals 9. So that's all you would have typed in DMAC. Number 12 says the angle measures of a triangle are shown in the diagram below. What is the value of x? So we know a triangle, all the angles added together equal 180 degrees. So now we just have to add up what's there. So we have 50 plus 2x plus 3x minus 10. So now we have to combine our like terms. So we have our 2x, we have 3x, we have a positive 50 and a negative 10. So when we have 50 minus 10, that's just 40. 2x plus 3x is 5x equals 180. Now we just solve from there. So we minus 40, minus 40. Those cancel out. This becomes 140. We bring down our 5x. We divide by 5, divide by 5. So we have x equals, we have to divide that out, 140 divided by 5. 5 goes into 1 0 times, into 14 twice, that's 10. Bring down the 0, 5 goes into 40 8 times. So we get x equals 28, which is D as in dog.